Hello, you gorgeous human being. It's Miss Bubbles. It's so good to see you today. Happy holidays. Today, we are going to rank all the farming and cozy games that I played this year. So farming means it is a farming sim game, but then the cozy ones are the non-farming ones. I always like to divide them. Usually I have them separated into two different videos, but I was like, you know what? Let's do all of them in one video. And I have a whopping 55 of them for you. Now, of course, my ranking is going to be very different than yours. So if I put a game that you think is a S tier game in my D- tier, it's not an attack against you. That of course should go without saying, but some people on the internet think that it is. So I'm just telling you right now that it doesn't mean that. If you actually disagree with me, this is the best part of this video. Let me know in the comment section, what do you personally think? Why do you not agree with my rankings? Or just simply share, what is your favorite and worst farming and cozy games of this year? Now I'm gonna tell you what every tier is and isn't, so that it kind of makes a little bit of sense as to why I might have ranked something in this tier and another tier. So let me walk you through them real quick. So the S tier is going to have the games that became my comfort food. These are, you know, my beloved. I couldn't put them down. They are ones that managed to live in my mind rent-free. They were keeping me up to 5, 6 a.m. You know, I just couldn't stop playing them, so I recommend them even at full price. After that, we have our A ranking. This includes games that gave me some memorable moments. They have solid pacing, rewarding gameplay loop, but they have some nitpicks that I dealt with, so they're still incredible and I do recommend them, but they just weren't S tier. They didn't feel like, oh my god, like the S tier did, but they're still incredible in their own way. Now, B tier is for games that I enjoyed, but the spark didn't feel like hot fire flames. So I played them for a bit, but I was never fully hooked on them. It's like, you know, going on a first date, things are okay-ish. There's something missing, you just can't put your finger on it. So I still recommend them, but in my opinion, I think waiting for a sale would be better. After that comes C. So this is for cluttered games. They feel like they have weird controls, an annoying grind system that just didn't feel rewarding. So I saw potential in them, but sadly I just wasn't satisfied enough. So I'd say for the C tier, get them at a 50% discount, but then the B tier, get them at like 10 to 20% discount. And finally, the games that are between D and F, so I decided to just call it D-. These are ones that I did not like them. I hated them. I had struggles with them, be it the clunky systems that they have or the controls. I felt like maybe they're unplayable or they're just so unenjoyable that I was despising every second that I played with them. You know me, I'm very passionate when I'm talking about games, so you probably already know, if you were watching me this year, which games are going to be in this tier, but burn it with a fire. That's all I'm gonna say. And now that we have the housekeeping all out of the way, if you love farming games, make sure to squish the like and subscribe buttons, because right now I'm doing a challenge where I'm streaming a new farming game every single day. I'm gonna make a jumbo video where I talk about all of them, and I don't want you to miss out. So we have this massive list here. There's gonna be a lot to talk about, and you're gonna notice that I included a couple of RPGs that I felt are more on like the cozy side, or maybe I've seen them included in a lot of cozy gaming lists, so I thought, why not? But I still play like more, let's say, gruesome, for a lack of a better term, RPGs like, let's say, Outer Worlds, and also some action adventure ones. So we're talking about Mafia or Ghost of Yote, Outer Worlds 2, that kind of, you know, jazz. They're not going to be included in this list, of course. So let's begin. We're gonna start with Dreaming Isles, and this is easily going into the D-. We played this around the release of Border Town, which is another game that we're going to be ranking today, and I still find it frustrating that the developer released it knowing full well the game was not complete. And you know, they never labeled it as early access, which I think was the sticking point for me. So their logic when they were defending their decision still annoys me till today. They're like, no, like, you know, the game is complete, but the story isn't complete. And I'm like, what do you mean? If the story is not complete, then it's still in early access. And I know you're gonna come at me and you're gonna be like, oh, but Coral Island, but that one had so many issues with the publisher, they don't even work with them anymore, so I kind of understand. But here it's just like, they never went back to the game, they never fixed it. I'm looking at the patch notes, and the last time they looked back at the game was in January, which is the month that it got released. So Coral Island, they've been working their butt off to make sure that the game is incredible. Whereas this one, Dreaming Isles, we never heard back from the developer. It was just unenjoyable. I did not have a good time. By the way, a lot of the games that I played, I also streamed for you, so you can see my experience there. But I think it needed a lot more time in the oven. It felt very rushed. It felt like the NPCs, I don't know, like I couldn't connect with them. The art style is beautiful, I'll give them that, and I like the concept of sailing and going to different islands and all of that, but the game itself is just lacking. I did not enjoy it. And when it comes to the games that are going to be in the C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier, Dreaming Isles doesn't fit anywhere but pretty much here. I love that this tier list decided to start with violence, because the next one that's here is Harvest Moon Home Sweet Home. It's the special edition that they did for the Nintendo Switch NPC. Is this even a shock, guys? This was a mess. I did not enjoy it at all. You also probably saw my stream. I kept streaming for 5 hours because chat was giving me a lovely time. Honestly, this year, my community has been incredible. Like, y'all make me feel so happy when we're streaming and playing games. And if it wasn't for you entertaining me during our stream, I had to play this game another 5 hours off stream, and it was just gruesome. It was not fun. It was frustrating. The NPCs, they look like they're all cousins, which is very off-putting. The fact that you lose stamina every time you sprint is really annoying as well. The game in general just feels annoying. I also didn't like that the camera just goes like to the top, down, then back to normal every time you come to tend to your farm. The controls are very clunky because this was a mobile game initially. And the problem that I have the most with this game is, it's funny that I saw someone comment on my video and I left their comment. They were like, you know what, like, no, I think the game is great. People are expecting too much. I'm like, darling, are people expecting too much when you're paying £34 for this game? First, you should expect too much when you're buying a product. I don't know what... I'm telling you guys, rose-colored glasses with a lot of people in the cozy community, they just they refuse to see when there is a problem. That's an issue for another video, but this game is so tedious and it doesn't deserve 35 or like 34.99, 35 pounds whatsoever. I'll leave my review for it so you can see exactly what my nitpicks were with it, but there's no way that I would ever put this game in C tier, B, A, S. Like, no, it's F minus. Now let's give our D minus a little bit of a break. You know, it's gonna get cluttered in there, and we're gonna go with Space Chef. I'm gonna put it in C tier. Now this game, I've been waiting for it for years. You probably know that because I included it in so many of my upcoming cozy games that I was really excited about, but it was a disappointment, unfortunately. Now, I am happy that it is published by Quali, and I know that Quali always makes sure that the final state of their games is gonna be great. I feel like this game would have been a lot better if it went into early access, but the story is complete and all of that, so they thought it's just ready. Now, the developers did comment on my review, and they said that they're gonna take my feedback into consideration, which is amazing to see. And I actually knew this was gonna happen because, again, Quali publishes games from studios that they really believe in, so it's nice to see Blue Goo Games ready to fix everything. But yeah, the game just didn't tell you where to go. There was a lack of navigation. I was confused most of the time. I spent a lot of time just trying to figure out where to go next, and I just didn't know what to do. I didn't really connect with the NPCs, and I felt like the game overall just felt bland. It was such a missed opportunity, and it seems like I'm not the only one who struggled with this, be it with the comments on my video or with the reviews that we see on Steam. We see that people were complaining about the same stuff that I complained about, but I think it still can redeem itself. I think within a year, if they push for updates, I think this can be rescued. So let's see if they do it, and I will go back to it. We're not gonna leave Space Chef Hangout on its own here because Grimoire Groves is going to spend some time with it as well. Now, this one we also played on stream. It's cute, and unlike some of you, I actually really like the saturated colors here. But, you know, as much as I love that the roguelite dungeon crawler twist is coming into cozy games and farming this year, I think that this one overstayed its welcome very quickly. Also, it suffers yet again from the same stuff that Space Chef did, which it will tell you to do something or go grab something, but you just don't know how to do it. And I really don't appreciate that. I feel like some developers do that so that they can milk a little bit more time where you're just spending being confused. But for me, that is very off-putting. Not knowing where I'm supposed to go or what to do is frustrating. The combat is fun, but also like the gameplay together just didn't feel like it was gelling, you know? So I never felt like I wanted to go back to it after the stream, and this is why I think it should stay in the C tier. Now, not Monday, it is a idler. I feel like everyone and their mother have been doing them since like 2 years ago, and they've just been taking over the cozy scene. I will put it in B tier. It's because I had fun running it while I was doing uni work or while I was editing. You know, you manage your own cafe, you're farming, you're unlocking new tools, you're decorating your little cafe and hiring employees to help you out. I maybe tried it like 3 times, and after that I felt like, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to Spirit City Lo-Fi as my productivity tool. I don't know, like launching the idler just felt like a chore rather than like, ooh, I'm excited to see what I'm gonna do today, so I'm gonna place it in B tier. I also tried Let's School because I heard a lot of good things about this game. Unfortunately, it just didn't click with me, so I'm putting it in C tier. Now, I know that a lot of people love it. I've seen such incredible reviews for it. So basically, you're running your own school. I really like the graphics here. You manage literally everything. So you're managing your teachers' program, your students' schedules. You're, of course, building the school from scratch. But the UI is very difficult to get used to. It feels unintuitive. It kept bombarding my gameplay. And while it does some things right, I feel like it also does a lot of wrong. I also had a lot of bugs that were pretty game-breaking. So for me, I played it for a few hours and then I was like, you know what? If I want this kind of gameplay, I'd rather go back to One Point Campus, for example, because I had way more fun than I did with this one. So yeah, it's gonna be in C tier. Right after we have Sea Fantasy. That's another game that we streamed. We streamed a lot this year. And again, thank you guys so much for supporting me and being there. It really means so much. You made streaming so much fun for me, and I really appreciate you. And this game is gonna go in the B tier. So this is basically like a fishing RPG. You know how a lot of farming games will have the fishing mechanic as a minigame? This whole game is about that fishing minigame. Now, it can get difficult very quickly, so I wouldn't even say it's that cozy, but again, it was in so many cozy games lists, so it deserves, I think, a place in here. It's pretty challenging. The game had a lot of bugs that were off-putting, and the story, it just doesn't really make sense. So yeah, after a few hours, I never really felt the urge to go back to it, so I'm putting it in B tier because it still does something that is unique and new and different, so that grants you points in my book. But you didn't do something incredible where I'm like, oh my god, I can't stop playing this game, you know? Right after we have To Pixelia. That's also going to be in the B tier. And I realized that this game had so many mixed opinions. When it came out, it had a lot of issues. And when I played it and we streamed it, we had a few problems. Like, you know, most of the mechanics weren't explained well. Even like talking to people, as much as it's fun, it also gets confusing at one point. But I really like it. It's, you know, if you like The Sims and you like managing your own needs, getting a job, going to uni to get better, and then you have this like other side of town that is like a little bit more, you know, edgy and a little bit more freaky. You can literally jump in front of a car and it will hit you, which that happened a lot to me. I like that it doesn't take itself seriously. It's very quirky, so I had a good time with it. But again, there was a lot of bugs. I did get confused when I was playing at times. It ran pretty well for me on the Steam Deck, which is a bonus as well. So I appreciate when a game tries to get into the Sims community and, you know, this life simulation space, because the competition is very high and you have to do something unique to set yourself apart. And I think, yeah, it deserves a B tier. Right next to it, we have Minami Lane, and again, it's gonna be in the B tier. I know a lot of people love it. It has, I think, overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. However, I played it for the challenge that I was doing last year, where I was like playing a new cozy game every single day, but life happened and I couldn't finish it. So I was playing Minami Lane, and then I went back to it this year. I just don't see why I want to play it more. So I really like that, you know, you're building this town. The graphics are very cute. You're trying to appeal to different people. You know, some are youth, some are older. So everyone is going to have different needs, and you're trying to build stuff for them. You're trying to set the price right so that everyone is happy. And it's not like a jumbo game, but I got bored of it in like 2 hours, and I felt like it was just a very short time. So for me, the games that made it to my A tier and my S tier are games that I played for a lot of hours. Whereas with Minami Lane, I just felt like, you know, 2 hours, I was bored, I'm ready to move on. But I still realize what it has done and I acknowledge it, and I hope that more games will do that and expand on it. And I think Research Story also deserves the same ranking. I like that it's innovative, it's doing its own thing. This is a farming game that also emphasizes science. So you're researching things like the plants that you're growing, the critters that you can capture and domesticate. It's very cutesy as well. The characters have beautiful portraits. And don't get me wrong, again, it's very cute. It does a lot of things differently, which I appreciate. Also, the music is incredible and the developer is so sweet and passionate about their game. It actually launched into early access and now it's finally in full release. And I've seen some people play it for 70 to 80 hours, but for some reason, after we've streamed it, I never felt the urge to go back to it. And that is so important for me. So yeah, I played it for stream, I think 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4, I don't remember. But I do know that after the stream, I never felt like, oh my God, I have to go back and play this game. I was like, played it, tried it, I know what it's like, and I'm okay not playing it again. Now, we also played Moonstone Island for the first time this year, and it's gonna go in the B tier. I can already feel like people are gonna come for me because I know this game has so many positive reviews. And listen, I had no problem with the game, but it's yet again the same problem where I streamed it for a bit and I never felt the urge to go back to it. I'm gonna give it another shot for next year and we'll go back to this list and we'll see if I think differently about it. But I really appreciate that the devs have put in so much updates, both free and paid. The community is massive for this game and you're basically collecting creatures. It's kind of like Pokemon, but make it cozy. You can get married, you can set up your farm, decorate, all of that. I feel like if I manage to play it, it might go to my A tier, maybe even S tier. But again, when I played it, I didn't feel the urge to come back to it, and that is so important. For a game to make it to my A ranking or my S ranking, I have to feel the urge where I need to play this game right now. It's living in my head rent-free. And when I played Moonstone Island, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute, so adorable, but I never felt like, give me the game right now and I need to play it again. It was just like, I pretty much forgot about it. So B tier has been getting a lot of love. Let's go back to our C tier, and Border Town is making its way right into here. We played it in early access on stream. And now I believe it's launched into its 1.0. This is yet again a farming game. You have your town that you can go to and grab resources from them. You can collect like these statues and people will come. They can move into your town. So you're literally like just building your own town. And I think that the premise is really good. It gives me a little bit of like RimWorld vibes. However, there was a lot of translation problems, lots of bugs as well when the game released. And I think like when you're releasing a game to the West, it's one thing that the translation isn't complete, but people at the end of the day are paying for a product, and the early access was just very rough. Like, it's too rough for my liking.
That's what she said.
And I know early access, it means the game is not complete, but I feel like there should be, I really hope that there will be like some kind of standard that Steam can maybe implement so that not everything can go into early access, because a game like this, it was just way too rough. And I never went back in the 1.0 release because I was like, you know what, I really don't care about this game. I feel like A tier is getting a little bit lonely, you know, and for that, The Sims 2 is gonna go right over there. The Sims 2 saw its re-release this year. It broke the internet. If you don't know, Sims 2 is one of my favorite cozy life sim games in the world, and it's actually my favorite in the Sims franchise. Now, the reason why it goes into A tier is because, man, is that game buggy, and man, did it remind me about a lot of limitations that Sims 3 actually helped us shatter, which is when you play this game, it's good that you have so many DLCs with the re-release, so you can enjoy your seasons and your pets and your free time stuff that you're doing, so, you know, your hobbies, or you can open your business and go to a community lot. But I don't appreciate that we need so many mods to make this game work properly. I mean, I feel like it's just a standard with Sims that you need to mod the shit out of the game for it to work properly. But with this, for example, like anytime you go to another community lot other than your house, the second that you go back to your house, it's like the time just never passed. And it's just such an immersion breaking thing, because like, what do you mean? I was in the mall for 5 hours, I come back and the time's still the same. Just the bugs and all of that, it really messed things up. But because of nostalgia, it has to go back to the A tier. I played this game so much when it came out, modded it a lot as well. So I don't see it fitting into B tier because it literally took my soul away again for a while, and it's gonna stay there. And next to it is going to be Linked Banner of the Spark. This game was really fun. I streamed it with Josh. We had a really great time playing it together. This is more so of another like roguelite take into the cozy, you know, scene. You have a town that you're building from scratch. You're gonna get new NPCs or like villagers to move in. You can give them gifts. You can get better and stronger and unlock different weapons. And every weapon is so different and unique when you play it. So I really appreciated that. And after the stream, I did play it for a while. But the reason why I put it in A is because this game is so flippin' challenging. I know you're gonna say skill issue. I agree with you, but oh my god, is it like, yeah, it tests you and it makes you really stressed. And I'm like, for you to be in S tier, you don't need to stress me like this. This game really stressed me a lot, and this is why I feel like it should go in the A tier, but it's really fun. And I like games like this, you know, where you're playing a roguelite, you lose and come back to life and you're improving, getting better. It's just such a nice loop for me. Like Cult of the Lamb, flippin' love that game so much, and Lynked did the same thing and I really appreciate it. Now next to it, I love that I feel like we're gonna be in the A tier for a bit right now. Next is gonna be Town to City. This is a beautiful pixelated, you know, pixel art city building management game, and I really love that you're not just building something and you're not really having a purpose. The villagers that move into your town, they have requests, they have families that they're trying to build, and you get so attached to them. It's very seamless as well, like your creativity has no bounds. So you're building these very intricate cities in what looks like a very compact kind of map, but if you love decorating, you're gonna enjoy this so much. And the only reason why it's not an S tier is because it's in early access. For me, I don't want to put games in early access in S tier, so I'm gonna keep it in A just because we don't know what the full product is gonna look like. But so far, oh my god, I mean, it has also overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's published by Koali, by the way, the same people who published Space Chef. So these guys, they pick really good studios, and this game is incredible. Next up, we have Moonlighter 2. This one also easily going to A tier. Only reason why it's not in S tier is because it's in early access. Now, this is the sequel to Moonlighter 1. You are, again, running your shop. You are going into the dungeons. You're fighting off monsters. You have different weapons to pick from, and then you go back, you sell your relics in the shop. And I really love this game. I've made a before you buy for it, so I give you a full breakdown of everything to expect. But I really enjoy this game. I also like how relics have different curses, so when you put them in your backpack, they may burn something else, or you have to use like a battery to not let something, I think, what was it, like it gets electrocuted or something like that. I really appreciate that the devs went to the 3D art style rather than the pixel art. The animations are so good. The attention to detail is also mind-blowing. You can decorate your shop as well. The game has so much content already, and there's a lot more planned. I played it for like 15 to 20 hours for my before you buy, and I went back and played even more after. It is pretty challenging, so similar to Lynked, Banner of the Spark, but it's done in a way that feels so satisfying, and I definitely recommend this game. Now we have Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. The reason why I have it in this list is because I see it in so many cozy gaming lists. I don't think it's a cozy game. A lot of people do, so I was like, you know what? Sometimes I need to try and fit in. So we're gonna say it's a cozy one, especially in like when you're trying to go and explore, and the fact that you can build so many crazy stuff with this game, it makes it a little bit cozy, and we're putting it in A tier, okay? The only reason why it's not in S tier is because I hate durability systems. I don't like why? Why do I have to work my ass off to get a weapon that I love so much, and then you flippin' have it break on me, bro? But I really appreciate this game. I love going into different towns, exploring them, filling in my map. You have this massive underground as well. Oh my goodness. The game looks incredible. I got the Switch 2 upgrade for it, and I play it on my TV. And guys, like seriously, wow, what a beautiful game. It's really fun. There's so much to do, different weapons to get, different armor sets. You know, if you're going to the snowy areas, you have to be prepped for it. You need to eat food and change your clothes for that. So it adds like a little bit of life simulation in there, just a tiny little, you know, slice of life elements. It's very satisfying, and I'm having a really great time with it. I know that A tier is getting cluttered in here, but On Your Tail is also going to go here as well. In this game, you play as this like adorable little goat who's a detective. You move to this area, and we have different mysteries that are unfolding, and you're trying to help everyone just figure out what's happening. So you're playing a little bit of a detective in here. So if you appreciate that, you do that in here. Oh my god, she said do. This game is really fun, and you have little slice of life elements, which I always appreciate in my games. Now, the reason why it doesn't make it to the S tier is because first, there's a lot of backtracking, and two, there were a lot of puzzles that were confusing to me and they just didn't make sense when I solved them. So to me, that did do like a little bit of an immersion breaking part for my gameplay. So that's why I'll put it in A, but if it wasn't for that, it would easily go to S tier. I'm gonna be zooming out like the list a little bit as we put more stuff, and also I just realized that I actually played 56 games and I just added one of them now. But before we, you know, continue cluttering A, because there's gonna be a lot of A and S tier games, I think D- is getting a little bit lonely in here. And man, oh man, am I gonna be attacked in the comments about this, but bruh. Tales of the Shire. What was that? What was that? Listen, y'all can call me a hater. I regret every penny that I paid for this game, and I wish I can get it back. First, I played it on the Nintendo Switch too. What a horrible decision. The game looks disgusting on there. Mush, like terrible. Before I keep going, if you're enjoying this game, I'll tell you what I told you in my short video and in my review. I'm so happy for you. For me, and a lot of people who agree with me, this game was terrible. Not only is the performance just, what is that? That was unacceptable. Number two, they're trying to use, you know, birds that let you know where to go. So kind of like Ghost of Yotei, if you played that, or Ghost of Tsushima. They don't work. They don't work, bro. They don't work. Most of the villagers in the town, like they in the Shire, they don't even talk to you. The back and forth is so boring that I said the pacing is just shit in this game. I play cozy games. This year alone, heck guys, I played 56 of them, so you can't say like, oh, I'm not aware of how these games work. I know what cozy means, and this game is far from cozy. It was tedious, it was boring, it was annoying. I did not enjoy my time at all. Even cooking, it was like, okay, cool, but then what? The gameplay loop was one of the most unintuitive, uncreative loops that I've played in a game. I genuinely had the worst time with it, and I know a lot of people agree as well. And I have to tell you, like, the graphics is only 10% of the issues. 90% of the other issues are the gameplay itself. I've reviewed it for you if you want to know more about why I feel this way, and you're gonna see that what I say is very valid. I just, yeah, this was unenjoyable. I dreaded my 10 hour, like worst 10 hours that I've spent in my life. I'm never getting these hours ever again. 10 hours is a lot. 10 hours is a lot. I'm never getting these ever again. I regret playing this game. I regret buying it. Yes, no. But let's make it a little bit more lighthearted. Let's go to Little Witch. Let's go to the Little Witch in the Wood, and she is going right over in the A tier. Again, the only reason why it's not an S tier is similar to On Your Tail. Navigation can suck at times. I just got lost a lot. The map, like, I think a mini map would really help with this game, because you're getting this massive map and it's very difficult to navigate, especially when you go down in the caves. But this game is so flippin' beautiful. The new update, it added the Starlit Caves, and genuinely, I've covered the game. I really recommend you guys watch the video. It is so beautiful. It's out of this world. It doesn't have farming and stuff like that. You're basically making potions. You're trying to help the village re-establish itself and get back on its feet. The characters are very quirky and cute, and you have so many creatures that you can gather resources from, and the resources themselves are very innovative. Like, for example, if you're getting an ore, one of them is in the caves and you're literally chasing it down so that you can get your ore from it. Even like the little puffs that you get, you know, like fur from, is so cute and adorable. It does its own thing. I had a really good time with it. Again, if it wasn't for the navigation and me just being confused a lot of the time, I will put it in S tier. Hands down, very easy choice for it to be in S tier. Speaking of S tier, at this point, I feel like the S tier is just so lonely. So let's put our first game in there, and it's gonna be Snacko. It's crazy that I played this game for the first time this year. I heard so much about it, but I never got the chance to play it before. And finally this year, I got to stream it for you guys. And oh my god, it was living rent-free in my head. And I couldn't wait to play it more. I did play a little bit more, but I really want to play even more. Basically, you're playing as this cat. You have been knocked over a ship. You and your friend are now lost in this new town or island. It is so cute. You have so many things to do. You can farm. You can build the entire town. So not only your house and your surroundings, but the whole town can be built from the ground up. There's so many main quests and side quests. New villagers are gonna move in. You're gonna help them out. There is an abundance of stuff that you can do. My community is so amazing. They were in the stream and y'all were helping me with it, and we had a really great time. You saw me smiling the whole time. The gameplay loop feels very satisfying. And speaking of how much fun I had, the devs gave me codes for it, so we gave them away in the stream, but I still have 2 more that I just got access to from the devs. So I didn't even tell you in the beginning there's actually a giveaway, because I was like, I don't want people to stay just for the giveaway. I want them to hang out with me. And if you're still hanging out with me right now, I think you deserve to be part of the giveaway. To win the giveaway, all you have to do is whatever comment that you put, just put a cat emoji. It can be any cat emoji that you have access to. Just put a cat emoji and that's it. You are in the giveaway, and I will announce the winner 1 week after this video goes live. And to know that you are a winner or not, I'm simply gonna reply to your comment and tell you that you are one of the 2 winners. So yeah, let's go to A tier again, and Hozy is gonna make it there. Now this is a demo that I got to play exclusively. I was one of the very few people who got to play one of their fall level before they actually put out access to it for everyone. I never thought that I would be this intrigued by a game that lets you decorate, yet here I was spending so much time decorating every single room that I go to. So far, I can say like the music is incredible. The sound effects are insane. The attention to detail here is so great. I can see the devs have poured in so much love into this, but basically it's kind of like unpacking. We don't really know the story much, but through the stuff that you are unpacking as you move from room to room, you can kind of tell the story and what's happening here. So you're living through the person's story. And this, like when it comes out, if it still is as incredible as it was when I played the demo for it, it will easily be in my S tier next year. I would say keep an eye out for it, put it on your wish list, because this game has so much potential and it's so fun, especially if you love decorating. Even every single object you can interact with it, like a fan, you can turn it on, the lights, you can turn them on and off. There's so many things that you can do with this game. Oof. Now initially I had Cottonville in B tier, but the more that I think about it, I think it has to go in C tier. Now, in this game, you are basically having a little bit of farming. So you're farming your crops and then you use them to make color for the dye so that you can run your tailor shop. So you're gonna have customers come in, they want different stuff that fit different traits, like, oh, I want something cute or I want something pink. And you're basically just making them the outfit that they need. I feel like I just got bored very quickly. Like we were playing it on stream. I had a good time because again, like when you're chatting with your community, there's a big part as to why you will enjoy a game more. It's that, you know, sense of like us vibing together, chatting together. But I never wanted to go back to the game after the stream. I just felt like it was very repetitive very quickly. And when I compare it to the games that made it to the B tier, for example, like even the Idler, Not Monday, or Sea Fantasy, or Pixelia, or Minami Lane, I still had a lot more enjoyment out of these games than I did with Cottonville. So it has to stay in the C tier. Yesterday, which is like when I'm streaming now, but you're probably gonna see this video in a few days after, we played Everdream Village. This is the sequel to Everdream Valley. Everdream Village, I think, is going in the right direction. It is an early access. A lot of the people that you unlocked in the first game, they come here. So it's like your grandma, your grandpa and your grandma, your mom and your dad. And basically you're a child who's a mayor. Child labor. What is happening? Why? What? But let's forget that. You're a mayor and you are building this entire village from the ground up for everyone. You can morph into animals and use their traits for like let's say a dog. You can bark and that way you can herd animals and help them go back to their pen. You have different like mini games when you're cooking or when you're crafting. I did not really gel with the crafting mini game, but thankfully you can pay some money and just skip it. But I think it's doing things the right way. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. It is an early access. the devs really want your feedback on it. So if they really work at this game, I think it can be something incredible. You can even tell people to help you out. You can assign them to different stuff. Like you can use this yellow marker on trees and then Emil, for example, will go and chop them down for you. I think there's a lot of potential. They just have to listen to the feedback and it can be something great. And next to it is gonna be also Magic Inn. This is also an early access. Basically, you're running your inn, you're making potions, you're going to grab resources, and you can commission different people to get you different items. You also have this like cute little cozy town where you can unlock more stations and then make even more sophisticated stuff. However, the controls are just not that greatest. I had a lot of problems with a lot of prompts just not working and me having to click a button several times for it to work. However, I see the potential here and the developers are very nice. They seem like they're really working on making this game better. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. That's why I'm not going to put it in C tier. We shall see what happens next year and hopefully it runs a lot better and it's a lot easier. But so far, it's doing everything right. inZOI. I'm torn between B and C. If it was like up to me, I mean, it is my list, so I can do that, but I just don't have space. I would put it as B minus. I feel like I'll be so harsh if I put it in C, but then B is just way too nice. So just like for my peace of mind, I'm going to put it in C tier. Now, this game looks incredible. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. The character creator is, oh my goodness, so good. But the game, when I played it, was so boring. Like, in 3 hours, I felt like I've done everything. It is an early access. It still has a lot to do. But I don't know. Like, when I look at, let's say, Magic Inn or even Everdream Village, I was more, like, really excited about the future for it. Whereas with inZOI, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, do they listen to feedback? I'm not sure. I don't know. Again, I felt really, like, it was really boring. You do have this like massive Sims community right now, which is a big competition, you know, the Sims franchise as it is. But I feel like the Sims, we cannot deny that the quirkiness of it is what makes us go back to it. The beauty of the Sims is how quirky it is. inZOI is just trying to be too realistic for my liking, and this is why I'm gonna put it in C tier because I don't know if I'm ever gonna click with it. We'll see. We'll go back to it one day and we'll see. Now, if you thought the D tier is you know, this is it. It actually isn't. Sugardew Island is easily going in here. And you're gonna be like, why? Well, one, not only did the Switch port just run horribly and it crashed on me way too many times, which is unacceptable, but two, the game itself was boring, tedious. I had an abysmal experience with it. The gameplay loop is very shallow in my opinion for the amount of money that you're paying for this game. And this is yet again very similar to my experience with Tales of the Shire. Maybe it's just me not liking cozy games that are this shallow, but it reminds me of games like Critter Cove that I also did not like last year. For me, a cozy game is a game that at the end of the day, I still want to come back to. I still want to play. I feel like it's doing something different, but in a way that keeps me entertained. The satisfying gameplay loop of doing repetitive stuff that still feels again, satisfying somehow. Sugardew Island doesn't do that. Yeah, you're running your shop, but I was just bored running it, unlike Moonlighter 2, where I was just like so excited to do it, and I was like, yes. Or you're gonna see it later with the Grand Bazaar, like running the bazaar is just so fun and satisfying for me. Whereas with Sugardew Island, I just wasn't, I didn't click with it at all. Now, I also wanted to put Starsand Island in here, and I know that we've played a demo, but that demo was still so much more complete than a lot of complete games come out these days. Starsand Island, if you're not a demo, you're in the S tier. Starsand Island, you're gonna be my personality next year. I'm already telling you that. What an incredible demo first, because this is how you do it. Second, the devs are kicking butt. Goodness gracious, is this game incredible. I cannot wait for the full release. They're kind of implementing what Fantasy Life does with the jobs that you get, and everything feels satisfying in its own way, that you want to do more, you want to progress, you want to unlock more stuff. You have a phone that you can access and talk to your villagers. The villagers themselves are also very beautiful. The game game as a whole, it feels like a whole anime just playing before your eyes. You can also, of course, like take care of your ranch animals, but also the little stuff that you can do while you're exploring the world. For example, you can use a hoverboard, you can buy a car, you can buy a motorcycle, you can use a swing and just take in the beautiful sunset. You know, I love sunsets in real life, so it's kind of like situated above where the ocean is, and you're sitting there and just taking in the beauty of it all. This game is going to be insane. They postponed it to next year. I really hope they don't delay it more. I mean, if they have to, then you gotta do what you gotta do, but so far this game has so much promise. Oof, I cannot wait. Little Rocket Lab is also gonna go in the A tier. The only reason why it's not in S tier is because after the stream I tried to play it a little bit by myself, and I felt like I just couldn't really fully understand how to deal with the automation. Skill issue again, probably just like it was with Linked Banner of the Spark. This game, you're basically going back to your family's, you know, land or home. Your grandma was working on this like rocket, and then she had to just leave it. Now when you get there, you also get your little dog that you can play fetch with and pet and all of that, and then you go and explore the town. You're trying to rebuild it from the ground up. You have this university where you can research new you know, stuff that you can add to your automation cycle. But yeah, for me it was too mathematical, too much statistics. I suck at math in school. It was just difficult for me to understand how to play it, but it's beautiful. There is a story unfolding here as well, and I feel like if we can get through the learning curve, this can really hook me, because it did hook me when I was playing it. But then when I stopped the stream, I played it a bit and I just felt like, oh my god, I'm just not understanding how to play it. But I see why this game can be so addictive. So yeah, Wanderstop is going to be an S tier. I'm sorry that you can't really see it because the logo is a bit on the darker side, but this game is incredible. Basically, you were this incredible warrior fighter and you've lost. And now the game is trying to make you understand that there is so much to life and you need to rest. And I feel like this is such a beautiful topic that not a lot of people talk about. We are always living in a rush in life where we're trying to rush everything. We're trying to do so much at the same time. I don't know about you, but it can get exhausting. Living sometimes gets exhausting, and this game is basically you gathering tea leaves. You're then breeding different trees together, then you can take the extracts or like the resources and then go to your big tea brewing machine and make tea, and every tea will evoke a different feeling. And then you're gonna have these customers that come in and they want to feel something different, but there's also a story that's unfolding while you're playing, and it just makes you reflect a lot. It's very emotional. I had an incredible time playing this game. I did cover it, so I'm gonna leave all the games that I've covered in the pinned comment right below the like button so that you can check it out. I think this game is incredible. It did something very different and I really appreciate it. Next up, we have Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Not even a single thought. You're going straight into S tier. This game, guys, I had a kidney infection. My fever was 40 degrees Celsius or whatever the equivalent is in Fahrenheit. And I still made a tips and tricks video, a before you buy video, and I streamed it twice. For a game to make me sit through pain that I had and still somehow forget it because I was so consumed by it, I played it for 30 hours in a few days. What do you mean? Now, this game does sync with your real life, so you kind of have to log in daily, but I miss that. I miss games like Animal Crossing where I need to log in daily to do my dailies. And it's a lot about friendship. It's all about these Sanrio characters. A lot of them can move in and you can decorate their houses for them so that they can stay, but also every character has different things that they really love to get. So as you get them their resources or like their gifts, you're going to unlock more hearts with them. Then you can have them come with you. I will say that the puzzles can be pretty difficult, so I had to use the wiki a lot and use, you know, different YouTube videos to get help with them. But there's so many things that you can gather and unlock. It's a really satisfying gameplay loop that makes you want to come back and play every day. There's also this very intricate planting, you know, flower system breeding. I didn't didn't explore that yet because I just end up doing different quests and not really paying too much attention to that. But yeah, there's a whole wide world out there for breeding breeding flowers. And the devs just keep putting more and more updates. There's a new DLC that dropped this year. I didn't get to play it yet. I do have it, but I just didn't get to play it. But this game is really fun. And another S tier game, there's no question about it. Fantasy Life, The Girl Who Steals Time. You know me, I adored the 3DS game. I've been waiting for this game for years. I was one of the many people who petitioned for the devs for level 5 to bring us the game to the Nintendo Switch, and I'm so happy they did. It's also, you know, now on all platforms. It is cross saves as well, so you can play on one platform then play it on another one. We had so many worries about the game. I'm so glad that I was proven wrong, and so far there's no microtransactions in. But this game is so good. You have 14 different jobs to choose from. A lot of them can also be synchronized together, so you know, you could do your farming and then use your produce and then cook with it, and then you can do a little bit of fishing as well and use that. Now in this game you cannot not take part in combat like you did with the first game. However, combat is really satisfying here. I played Magician and I had a great time. I thought I would go with Paladin, but for some reason I was just hooked on the Magician. And in the beginning I had a little bit of problems with the crafting jobs. Once I figured out how the minigame plays, it's really easy for me, and now I find it really entertaining. And you can also get crafting buddies. Like literally you meet so many villagers that can come to your town, which by the way you can fully customize, and you can also customize how your room looks like. And don't forget that you also have the whole treasure grove thing where you're literally dungeon crawling. You can play with your friends, and I didn't even believe that I had so much time playing with friends in this game. But you also have a full story that you can play, and it's very cutesy, you know, very cutesy. It's not like a whole mature thing, but it's very nice. And then you have this Ginormosia that you go to, you rank up the different towers, and when you do that you also learn a lot more about the game's villain. This game is so good. This game is so good. It was my entire personality. For the first time ever, we streamed it how many times for 8 hours straight. Who am I? This game did that to me. Now, I was also really excited about 2 Point Museum. I adore 2 Point Campus and 2 Point Hospital, but Campus is my favorite. Museum is gonna have to go in B tier. This game is still incredible. It does so much good, and I really enjoyed the museum aspect of it. You basically go into expeditions and you never know like what's gonna happen. You have to put different staff members in the, you know, in the roster to make sure that no one ends up dead or injured or whatever. Then you have to put security systems because a lot of people will come to the museum and try to steal stuff. But after the stream, like I played it for about 5 hours on stream and then about like 2 hours by myself, but I felt like the bugs were very off-putting for me, and eventually I just stopped playing it, and this is why I put it in the B tier. Now we have Loco Moto. This one is gonna go in, I'm thinking about between like A tier and B tier. I think I'm gonna put it in B tier. So this is yet another creative cozy game that came out this year. Basically, you are customizing this train and you're taking passengers on with you as you go through different, you know, places on your map. And the goal is for you to gather resources and craft better decorations and just make sure that your train is really good. I had a good time with it, but at one point, like the pacing just wasn't as good as I would like it to be. So it was like, I will come and play it, I would have fun, but then I would somehow just want to go and play Fantasy Life or go back to Hello Kitty or do something else. So the pacing wasn't as good as I would have liked it. Otherwise, it would have been between A or S tier easily. Now, also as part of last year's challenge, I was playing Shokudo Underworld and I continued playing it this year. And this game is pretty fun in the beginning, but then it gets repetitive and boring very quickly. So for that, I'm gonna put it in B tier. But because in the beginning it hooked me so much, I was like, it doesn't deserve to be in the C tier. You are like running this underworld kind of like ghost restaurant management, you know, sushi place, and you're getting your resources, then you're making your sushi. You're gonna be running from place to place to make sure that your customers don't leave being frustrated with you. And you're gonna unlock new recipes and just get better, you know, perks so that your restaurant is just going better and better. Because again, I got bored pretty quickly after the 2-hour mark. I just don't think it deserves to be on the A ranking. Part of the re-release that we saw with The Sims this year is also the original Sims. Now, this game used to be S tier for me, but when I played it this time, it actually dropped to B. You're gonna be like, why? I just didn't realize that the Sims original game that I used to play as a kid, and by the way, I have like thousands of hours between Sims 2 and Sims, this game is the Dark Souls of life sim games. The needs of your characters is so hard to keep up with. Promotions are almost like, oh my god. Back then, we had to have so many friendships and so many skills, and you have to be in a really good mood every time you go to your work so that you can get promoted. I don't know how us as kids were playing these games that are so tricky, but when I went back to it this year, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not playing this. I played a bit on stream, then a bit off stream, and then I was like, nope, I am not going back to that. No, thank you. Now, of course, you know, this year I not only got invited to Marvelous's headquarters, which is flippin' awesome, to try Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, but I also knew about the game before anyone else in the world, and that was, oh my god, what an honor. I played it and I did a before you pre-order for you guys, and you saw I was so excited. Now, I never played the original game, so I wasn't really comparing it to that, but I was just comparing it to Story of Seasons games that I've played. And this game had me hooked like this with the little preview that I had. And when it came out, my videos speak for themselves. I did 2 guides for this, which is very rare for me to do for a game. I usually just do 1 and I move on. I did 2 for this. And I did the, again, before you pre-order, before you buy. We streamed it again. I did a short as well. When I'm enjoying a game, my heart for making content for it and sharing my love for it with you becomes so grand. This game was, oh my god, it was everything, and it still is everything. And this one, and there are 2 others that we're gonna talk about later, I refuse to finish it. I love the farming system here. It's very straightforward, very chill. I like using the windmills for your crafting. Sure, there are 3 of them, but it never really feels overwhelming. I really like the map. It's so easy to go from place to place and memorize where you're supposed to be. I like how the trigger system is implemented here, where if your relationship is about to advance with a villager, you're gonna know. It's gonna give you an exclamation point at the exact same spot at the exact same time that you have to go and meet a villager. Giving them gifts is easy. You can cook. You've got your ranch animals, and you can get, you know, pets and dogs that will help you with them. You also have those sprites that you can donate different stuff to them and level them up. I really like how all the gameplay loops synergize in this game perfectly, and they make for a very satisfying time for you. Easily is S plus 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 plus. Also, the villagers, love them. So cute, so adorable. Everyone has their own lore, their own story that I just couldn't wait to learn more about. And speaking of that, another game that I was so attached to its characters is, I love how like the screen is just going smaller because there's so many games, but it's gotta be Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma. I played that one also with its preview same day that I went to the Marvelous headquarters. Marvelous, I love you. Thank you so much. The trust that they put in me is incredible, and they wouldn't put that trust in me if it wasn't for you guys. So thank you so much for watching this year, guys. We did incredible this year. And by the way, I actually have a key for Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar and Rune Factory that I'm gonna give away. And also, I think Fantasy Life, if it's still working. So make sure to be watching me this month, the long form videos like this, because we're gonna be giving away the keys. So again, Marvelous, they spoil us, they gave us the keys, but this game is so fun. I really enjoyed the town building, and usually I don't like when a game has me going into like different areas to work on a farm, but because the seasons are related to every single village, so you have like a winter village, a spring village, a summer village, an autumn village, it works perfectly, and every village looks so different, and then you get to decorate it and build it and customize it the way that you want it. It's really fun. Also, the villagers themselves are intriguing. Some of them are gonna become your friends, and you can have them as your companions. So as you go and you fight different monsters and you do your boss fights and all of that, they're gonna come with you. They're gonna level up and get better. But then also you're progressing your relationship with everyone. And then if it's someone that's a bachelor or a bachelorette, you have bonding quests, and again, it makes the trigger system so easy because you know exactly when to meet someone, where to meet them, which is incredible. Also, your towns, you can rank up every single town by using Wooby's help. He's gonna show you this sheet, and you can know exactly what you need to build, and you're taking care of your villagers, making sure that everyone has shelter, everyone is taken care of, you have enough money for everyone. The gameplay loop is really satisfying, and you can flip and ride a dragon. Wooby is just gonna take you everywhere that you want to go. You have these little islands that you can go to and do some exploration in them. And I also enjoy that we have different tools that we can use apart from our, you know, weapons. And every tool can be used not only in farming, but then also in combat. You've got like your fan, you've got your drum, you've got your, I forgot what it was called, that sword, the fire sword. So yeah, this game easily S tier, became my personality. This and Story of Seasons are two of the games that I refuse to finish. Why? Because I finished Fantasy Life's story and I was depressed. Not because it was bad, but because it just ended way too early. It just ended way too early. And I just don't want these to finish. I will finish them maybe like when we know the release date of the next Story of Seasons and Rune Factory game. Otherwise, I don't think I'm gonna finish them. I'm just gonna, I've done that with Dragon Quest Builders 2 as well. I need a reason, or not reason, but more like a hope or a purpose or whatever the term is called, that I can get back to these worlds whenever I want to without having to restart my game. Now, we also have Pokemon ZA. Again, I know for me, I don't think these are cozy games, but again, I see them in so many cozy games lists, and I'm trying to be like a little bit more flexible and more understanding, like, okay, people actually believe these games are cozy, so I'm trying to describe them more in a cozy way as well. But anyways, it's S tier. I'm having a very fun time with it. The story is really fun. I really like the starters, and for this time, I decided to go with a grass starter. Let me know which Pokemon starter do you go with. Usually I go with the fire one, but I felt like the green one is very cute. We streamed it. We had a lot of fun. I will say though, Game Freak, what is your problem? You're literally like, Nintendo is charging full price for this game, and the graphics are abysmal when it comes to the buildings and what is that? What is that? That is, you know, for that, it's like I kind of want to drop it to A, but because the gameplay is so good and I am investing so much time into it, it feels unfair to drop it to A. Yeah, I don't want to drop it to A just for graphics, you know. I don't think it's fair because the story is really good and the gameplay is really good, but I really appreciate the live, you know, combat action style rather than turn-based. Don't get me wrong, I like turn-based if it's something like Expedition 33, you know, it's innovative and fun, or something like Metaphor or Fantasio, but usually the turn-based in Pokemon, for me, I'm just not really the biggest fan. But I like the combat here. It's pretty fun, pretty quick. I like going into the zones, ranking up, all of that, the whole system together. It comes together perfectly, and it's a really great time. Another S tier game is going to be my time at Sandrock. Restarted the game again right before, it was in May, because I was waiting for Fantasy Life and I was like, I need me a new game. Guys, this game is so funny because I'm gonna put another game in S tier. We're gonna talk about it, which to me, I've played a lot more than Sandrock, but Sandrock is a flippin' masterpiece. If you haven't played this game and you've been waiting, this is the time. The game is fully complete. Everything is here. You also have some DLC that you can buy. I've bought all of them. I don't suggest doing that. Maybe like on a sale, buy all the DLC, but I've bought all of them. This game, incredible voice acting. The story is mad. I love the crafting system. I love going into the ruins and looking for discs and then bringing them to, I think, Chi, to work on them. I love oh my god, I've forgotten. Guys, I'm so bad with like names in general in life and in games and in shows, but that guy with the parrots, the doctor, you know, you could do experimentation with him every single week. There are so many things, even like the market, it's not always the same price. Sometimes things are gonna be more expensive, sometimes they're gonna be cheap. You can build your own house. I love the system of the crafting. As I said, you go and you get resources, then you process the materials, then you build the blueprints, you can get animals and ranch animals and all of that. This game has so much to offer. I love it. I can't wait for Evershine. It's, again, I don't want to keep playing and finish this game before I have a release date for Evershine. It's the same problem that I have with Guardians of Azuma and Grand Bazaar, because I did the mistake of finishing Fantasy Life. I should have waited till we get maybe like a review, like a DLC or something, but I just don't want to finish that. And it is a RPG. You have combat in there as well. I think combat is pretty chill, and you level up your skills, all of that. This game is amazing. My time at Sandrock, what can I say? I flippin' love it. I will say I don't like it on the Switch, but otherwise I love a Steam Deck, runs it really well. Another one that we've played this year is, it's gonna be like a cozy JRPG, is Mado Monogatari. I will say it is a A tier. Only reason why I'm not putting it in S tier is because I've had a little bit of problems with understanding the combat, but this is yet again a dungeon crawler, but you also have your life sim aspect of it. So you, or like slice of life, you're basically a student at a magical academy. So you're gonna have to attend courses, you're gonna have to expand the campus a little bit as well, and then you go dungeon crawling with your friends. But the combat can be like a little bit difficult to understand, and also there is so much dialogue. However, I have to say the dialogue is very quirky. It's a lot to read because there is also no English dub, or like, yeah, I don't remember if it had voice acting. I think it did. Yeah, oh my god, I genuinely don't remember if it had voice acting. Just reading all the time, it was like a little bit tedious. In B tier, we're also gonna have Squirreled Away. This game is really fun. You play as a squirrel, and the amount of times that I had myself just running up the flippin' tree because a dog was trying to chase me down. I'm too embarrassed to say how many times that happened, but this game is very creative. It's different. You are also going around this like open world-ish kind of area, and you are meeting different villagers or like, you know, yeah, animals that need your help, but then also you're collecting resources. You can build a flippin', you know, tree house for your squirrel, which is so adorable, and I think it's a really fun time. Actually, you know, thinking about it, I'm gonna put it in A tier because I had so much fun. The only reason why I dropped it to B, but now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, no, it deserves to be in A tier, is because at some points I didn't know like what to do or how to progress or how to get like a certain material, but it wasn't that like, oh my god, groundbreaking, my head can't really focus. So yeah, I think it's A tier. Now we're also bringing another JRPG into here. You know me, I love the Atelier games, and it's gonna be Atelier Yumiya. Now Yumiya is gonna go in A tier. This is an amazing game. I've reviewed it for you if you want to learn more, and I have a tips and tricks for you. Very, very beginner friendly. This game tried to do something different. They're bringing not only a new character into the Atelier franchise, which is Yumiya, right after we've wrapped up the Ryza trilogy, but also Yumiya herself has a different story where this time synthesis and alchemy is actually a taboo. So this gives like an interesting take for the story itself. I really like the characters. They're very interesting, very quirky. Each has, you know, their own kind of like, you know, typical like stereotype that we see in anime. Yet again, we don't have an English dub, which I don't know. I wish Koei Tecmo will start investing in that. Maybe it's just way too expensive for them, but you know me, I've said this before. English is not my first language, so reading can be a little bit slow for me at times. And these folks will be talking while you're flipping, exploring or getting resources, and I'm like, bro, I can't keep up. I can't read what you just said. So if it wasn't for that, it would easily make it to S tier. And also one more thing, they've added the ability for you to literally craft your base, like you're building your base, but the building is so unintuitive that I hope if there's like a next entry for this and it's gonna end up in a trilogy, I hope that they work on the building because that was very tedious and it's like such a missed shot. But otherwise, I really liked collecting resources, then crafting them. I like the synthesis here. A lot of people don't. I thought it's really easy and straightforward. I also like the combat here. It's not turn-based. It's more like a hybrid, which was really fun to play around with. And I really enjoyed the gun that you use. You can also unlock a bike, which is amazing. And they kind of went with the Ubisoft formula with the map where you have so many exclamation points and question marks and stuff to discover. For me, I usually like those. I mean, heck, Witcher 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Skyrim, these are like my favorite games ever. And you know, these maps have that like, oh, squirrel every 2 seconds and you want to go and do something else and want to do something else. Yumiya also did that for me as well, which I also appreciate in Assassin's Creed's more modern games. But yeah, if you don't really like that, be aware of that it happens in this game. Now, Dinkum is, I used to put it in S tier all the time, but this year I decided to drop it to A tier. Okay, this game is incredible. It's a mix of a bit of Animal Crossing with a bit of Minecraft. You have this like block art style. You're gathering resources, you're running your own farm, you're building this town from the ground up, and you know, you have Grandma Fletch, which is kind of your Nook alternative in this game. However, I have to say the combat has been really stressing me out. Now, James, the sole developer of this game, has done an incredible job just building this game from the ground up by himself, which is is flipping crazy. I really love this game still. Like, don't think that I put it in A tier, that means I don't love it. I think you should still buy it even on full price because it's amazing. However, just the combat is really frustrating, and the like alligators, all of that. I mean, I know you need to get better, and you know, you need to utilize food to make it easier for you, but I don't know, I just don't enjoy the combat, and it is a big part of it. And I feel like I was just stressed out. I actually went back to it this year and I made a video. I recommend you watch it. It was like more my first time doing like a storytelling kind of video, which was really fun to make. My blood pressure was going up. It was too stressful, okay? Next up, we have Tavern Keeper, easily A tier. Very easy choice for me. This game is amazing. It's from the same game developer that did the Game Dev Tycoon game back in the day, if you know that. It feels like you're running a D&D while you're managing your inn. And it's really fun because the game is fully voice acted and narrated by a person. I forgot what's his name. He's an English voice actor, very well known. Sorry that I forgot the name, but my brain right now, we've been here for a while. It's really fun. It's really quirky. If you love customizing and decorating, you can literally customize objects from the ground up, which is really cool. I suck at stuff like that, but I know a lot of people love it. And the story campaign itself is so quirky and funny, but it's in early access. So I said in my video, also I'll leave it for you, the UI still needs a lot of work that I think, you know, it will make it a lot better if they work on it. And again, the game is just not complete, so we don't know what it's gonna look like in full release, but this game was so fun. We had to deal with arson and deal with so many things. It just takes a turn left, right, and center, but it's amazing. Another game that's gonna go into S tier is Coral Island. It went into S tier last year as well, and I kept playing it through this year. I think Stairway Games is doing an incredible job, and I said earlier the only reason why I will excuse it, but I wouldn't excuse, for example, Dreaming Isle, is because they had like a publisher problem. But then also, even though that problem happened, the devs, Stairway Games, they are doing updates back to back. They are amazing. They take in the feedback. The amount of love that they give to the community is something that is so beautiful. I cherish it so much and I love seeing it. This game is so fun. I have to say, I enjoyed building like my farm on the like, you know, real life more than the merfolk side of it, but I did enjoy diving and cleaning the ocean, the ranch animals. This is actually one of the very few games, just like Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma, where I actually put in an effort into building my ranch properly and like my town. So, but here it's just your ranch. There is also a lot of processors that you're gonna use, but unlike, let's say, Pioneers of Olive Town makers, these ones, they're just not like interesting. You can age stuff, you know, and get a lot more money. At one point, I reached like that stage where I'm like, okay, it's all about money making and buying new decor. Decoration is so beautiful. You can get beautiful house decorations as well and outfits. The villagers, they are very interesting. The story itself also is interesting, while you have this very corrupted company that is trying to pretty much just put the whole island at risk. And it's something that is very reminiscent, is that the word? Or like, it's very real life-esque, right? We deal with stuff like that all the time in real life. I think this game is incredible. I sing its praises all the time. I genuinely recommend it. I've played it a lot more than my time at Sandrock, but if you ask me which I would like prefer, because we had that conversation yesterday on stream, it will be my time at Sandrock, just because of I don't know if the production monetarily how it is, but the voice acting and all of that makes it even more easy to connect to the villagers. I still love them in Coral Island. I adore this game. I played it again a lot more, but I just refuse to reach an end with my time at Sandrock. That's why I don't have as much time in it as I do with Coral Island. Next up, we have Kitchen Sink Aloha. This is going to be, is it S or A? I'm gonna put it in S tier, and you're gonna ask why. Let me fix this first. Okay, I don't know how you can have so many games and the ranking system not looking crazy like this, but this game is so innovative. Basically, I love cooking games. I've always said that. I grew up with Cooking Mama. I really love these games. Also, Order Up, if you've played that. Flow, Diner Dash, Wedding Dash, that thing. So I love games like that, and this one kind of brought back that nostalgia for me. It follows more of a RPG style with the way that it runs things, and basically when you're cooking, you have this mini game, and you can use the various characters that you come across and kind of sync sync. That's why it's called sync. You can sync your energy together and make cooking even faster and better. And then you have extracurricular activities where you're gonna go and explore different stuff together with the cast of characters, and you get to know them as well. I think because it does stuff differently, it has also a story that is unfolding. You can get about 40 hours out of this game. I think it really deserves S tier, and I would love to see the developer work on a sequel or maybe a DLC or something like that. So hopefully, because I've been featuring it a lot in videos, more of you are buying it, and that will encourage the developer that, hey, we actually do want games like this. Okay, I'm gonna pick something else from the list. I'm gonna like mess it up a little bit. All of these games that are left over are actually really good. So I'm going to bring, you're gonna see The Sims again. You're like, what the hell? You already put The Sims. This is actually The Sims 2, which is on the PlayStation 2 version. So in this one, if you don't know, you don't control people by like clicking and telling them where to go. You actually move your person, and it has a campaign where you're moving from place to place and kind of coming up with like a storyline that unfolds. I really love this game, just like I do with the herbs. We played it, I think last year we streamed it a couple of times, and or it was this year, I don't even remember, but I remember that this year I still played it because I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and it's really fun. I love the objectives, and I love that you're always looking forward to what next location you're gonna go to. It's such a fun game. You unlock new recipes, and it can be a little bit difficult. Like, a part of me wants to drop it to A, but I feel like it's such a creative spin-off that was done. I wish Sims would go back to doing games like the Herbs and the Bustin' Out series. You know, these were so fun, but this game is so fun. Yeah, definitely play this one. I think it still holds up in today's day and age, and it's really fun. We're going to also get Duck Detective. I am going to place it in A tier. A part of me wants to put it in S tier, but I'm just like, I didn't play it as much as these games here, so this is why I'm dropping it to A tier. This game is fully voice acted. You're playing as a duck detective. You are going into, let's say, like a space. You're gonna meet space, not like space, you know, space, but like an area. And you're gonna meet the people that are there, because I don't want to give away too many. But yeah, basically it's gonna be like a lot of animals that you're getting to know. You're gonna talk to them, and you're gonna get clues from them. And you're trying to put these clues together and discover who's the bad person, you know? Whose fault is it gonna be? And it's really quirky. The voice acting is really well done. It's a really good game to play also on your Steam Deck. I was doing this as a bed gaming kind of like novel style game before I sleep. So yeah, I like it. And when I played it, I remembered that there's a game called John Jean. Has anyone played it? Because I'm thinking about buying it for the Switch, and I feel like that would be like a nice kind of otome style to play. But yeah, Duck Detective, if you want something to play before bed, that one is really good. And we're gonna go to the S tier, and we're gonna talk about Letters from the Past Undusted. This game, what I can tell you is, if you love games like, oh my god, my brain just went, Power Wash Sim, I forgot the name. If you like games like that, you're gonna like this. So with this game, without giving too much, you're basically playing as this young girl who is called Adora. You know, she's come back home, her mother has passed away, and now she's starting to clean stuff that has been neglected in her house. And as you're cleaning up more and more stuff, you're unlocking memories. And if you know me, you know, I've moved away from home. I miss my family all the time, and I feel like this game was a really good way to it's just like, it sparks up memories. It reminds you of your loved ones, and it's such a wholesome, cozy game. It's on the short side, but it's very beautiful. The music is beautiful as well. I really recommend it. It's a short and sweet, you know, bite-sized experience, but I think it went under a lot of people's radar, so I hope that more people will check it out. We also tried the demo, or like the beta, for Petit Planet, and this is gonna go in A tier. If it's out, and when I finally know what the monetization is gonna go like, I feel like this game can become the S tier. This game can become my personality, and this is dangerous territory. This and Animula Nook next year can hook me in a way that I don't know what life is gonna look like, because I'm gonna be playing so much. This game is very similar to Animal Crossing, but also not really. First, I really like that the villagers have their own lore and backstory, so it's not just a villager that says the same stuff over and over again. You can connect with them. I like that you can level up their planets, and I really like gathering resources, crafting, think the amount of items that you have are really beautiful. There's so many different pieces that you can put together and create different sets. You can customize your own house as well, and you're building this whole town from the ground up. Then you get your car, you can drive it, go to different planets and gather this like dew, Luca dew, that you can then use to access even more stuff. You can upgrade your car as well. I don't know what to tell you. This game is gonna be everything next year. It's already on a lot of people's radar. I just wish like the devs, I mean, it's understandable. The devs right now are just focusing on the development. So I've asked them before, what are the monetization gonna look like, and they were like, we're just not focusing on that right now. And I respect that. They're like being honest. They're like, we're not thinking about this now. It's gonna be, of course, gacha, thinking, Hoyoverse, it would make sense. I would also love to see, by the way, voice acting, but this game, this game is a dangerous one. It's gonna take up a lot of my time, I'm gonna tell you that. We've got our last 2 games, and one of them is Disney Dreamlight Valley. Easily S tier. Guys, I've said this before in my streams so many times. I love this game so much. It's very nostalgic to me, and it makes me feel like a kid when I play it. But not only that, I've also bought every single DLC. However, I haven't started any of the DLCs. Why? Because guys, I haven't even done my first dream snap in this game yet. However, somehow I have 40 hours in it already, 20 of them. So that's only on Steam. We're not talking about Switch and PlayStation. Yes, I own it everywhere as well. I've bought it everywhere. So I've spent a lot of money on this. I've bought Moonstones as well, but this game is just incredible. The one thing that I find annoying is planting and harvesting, because damn, does that take forever. Digging, I mean, you do it once, you get rid of it, is fine, you move on, and so is like watering. Yeah, the harvesting and the planting is a little bit tedious, but I really enjoy the fetch quests, and I'm not someone who enjoys fetch quests that much. Yet Hello Kitty and Disney Dreamlight Valley do it in a way that is really interesting, and it fits the story. I love unlocking new characters and leveling up my relationship with them. My village looks like an absolute cabbage. I would not invite anyone to it because I have this like FOMO of like, oh, what if I get something really cool and then I need to change my entire island and all of that. But this game is just, it makes me really happy, and I want to play it all the time. I've been staying till 6 a.m. playing it, and I think that alone, for you to hook me this way, you deserve to be in the S tier. And right next to it, and I'm so happy, like, look, we had so many good games, guys. Like, the D tier is not that much, and I'm really happy. I've said this before on Twitter a few times, and the posts always go viral because it's so true. This year has been incredible for cozy gamers. Granted, there's a lot of games that aren't S tier, but still, granted, there aren't a lot of games that released this year that were S tier, but still, Fantasy Life, Hello Kitty, Story of Seasons, Wanderstop, Undusted, Kitchen Sink Aloha, Rune Factory, still, these all released this year. Incredible game for cozy, incredible year for cozy gamers. You can see I'm already tapping out. Oh my goodness, this has to be like one of the longest videos we've ever put out, but it is Atelier Rasleriana. This game is really, really, really fun, really good. It started as a gacha game. The fan base didn't like it, so they moved into more of a single player game, but they're bringing the title Rasleriana again. Basically, you're going into this town and you're gonna help rebuild it back up, and you also get to run your shop with these cute, adorable little sprites, just like you do with Guardians of Azuma. Also, I just realized I forgot, when we were talking about Guardians of Azuma, you can also run your bazaar. That was one of the most fun parts. I love that game so much that my brain just went woo when I was talking about it. But yeah, you can run your shop here. You go back to the very similar synthesis mechanics like it had in the older games, and it also has turn-based, which a lot of veterans of the Atelier franchise really appreciated and they really loved seeing again. So if you love that, you have that. You also go kind of like dungeon crawling, where you go into these like different underworld areas and you're beating difficult bosses, but you have different difficulty levels. So the game is very cute and cozy in its own way. Yet again, we don't have an English dub, which is, I mean, I hope they will start doing that, but I think this game was really fun, and it kind of helped Koei Tecmo cater back to their own original fan base who did not really enjoy what was done with Atelier Yumiya, so they gave them Rasleriana, and they're like, listen, we're listening to you right now, and we're still interested in making you guys happy as well, which is amazing to see a developer focus on. So Gust has done that. I believe it's still Gust, right? With the publisher Koei Tecmo, but Rasleriana is really good. I have a review for it. I recommend that you check the video out if you're interested in it. But let me know, what is your favorite game this year? What is the worst one that you've played? I want to know all about it. Squish the like and subscribe buttons because again, we're gonna have lots of videos coming this year before we wrap it up and we get ready for 2026, and 2026 is gonna be crazy. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon bubblies who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the Game Dimension, Jake Logan, Yugoslav, and Stella for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.